Hi everybody, welcome to Wool and Wine episode 8. I'm Tammi.
I'm Claudia.
And I'm Janet, and I'm here today. I'm so
She's
happy to be back.
She's back. And we're so happy all of you are here joining us today. We want to welcome all of our new and existing viewers. We're just thrilled to know that you are coming back to watch us.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And we love all your comments.
Love the comments.
Keep them coming. It makes us feel so good about
Yes.
sitting here talking to a camera and showing all of our beautiful things.
Right.
Yeah, so we have lots of things to show today. While Janet was off, she has tons of finishes. It's just about the Janet show,
I think so.
which is awesome that she's back with us.
It's all good.
And we have lots of whips, and some yarn to show you. We've had some things in the mail, and we have a fabulous wine to share today.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Promising to
It
be
is.
good.
Right back here.
Yes.
Poured and breathing, waiting on us. So do we want to start with what we're wearing?
Sure.
Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
What you got?
Well, I have been talking about this for quite a while now, so it's finally finished.
What is it?
It is called The Sharn by Elizabeth Daughtry. And I don't know, what can I say? It's finished. It's gorgeous. I love the fit.
Oh my gosh.
Fabulous.
It is.
Yeah.
It's
That is just
perfect.
So good. Yeah, that is just,
And I love the details, and what a fun knit. So it's finished. I love it, and I highly recommend it. It fits so perfectly.
it's so drapey. That yarn you used is just so drapey.
Which is the Rowan Felted Tweed. And this is carbon. And this colorway is, let me see, I forgot, alabaster. That's right, it's alabaster. So I love it. I've actually ordered some more of this yarn because I'm so happy with the way it worked on this sweater.
It worked out.
I'll tell you
really
what,
well.
we were talking earlier, she could have a couple, 2 or 3 of that in different colors, and it would just, nobody's going to look at you and go, oh, did you just wear that? They'll be like, wow,
I'll be going.
awesome sweater. Yeah.
So what?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good. And your
Yeah.
jewelry looks really good with it, too.
Oh, thank you.
That's
This
really
came from Italy.
Did they on this last trip?
So pretty.
Wow. Yeah, those look real good with it.
Thank you.
Wowza,
Yes.
wowza.
I don't know
Ready.
what else to say. I didn't make any modifications. I did it just like she said, and it turned out perfectly.
Was your yarn usage what the pattern said? Do
You know what?
remember?
I need
Was
to go
it
back
close?
and look at that. I need to look at that. I don't remember. Yeah, that's always a good thing to know, right?
It is. It's a good thing to share. I
Yeah.
can't tell you. I don't even know. I almost always make mine a little bit shorter because I'm only 5'3".
And she's
Well,
short-waisted, too.
I used to be 5'4". I don't know what the hell happened, but
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so I make them shorter, and so I probably don't use quite the yarn that they
Right.
call for. But you're about the same height, well, 5'4", but you
Yeah.
make yours a little bit longer
Yes.
because you're not as short-waisted as I am.
Right.
It's just very, it's a personal thing, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll try to do better with that bit.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I just totally forgot about that. But I did do it on this.
Yeah. So what size did you make?
I made, oh gosh,
Was it
47?
46 or 47? Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
What are you wearing?
Well, I am wearing the Radiate by Hobbii Locatelli.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
Oh my gosh, that is so pretty.
It looks so different from her pattern page. You know, she did hers in that hot pink and white. That is just so, it just, oh, it's so rich looking with that plum.
Yes, and thank you. I used the Shibui Mai, which is now discontinued, but it is a lovely yarn made of alpaca. It's like an alpaca DK. And then I also used Expression Fiber Arts. And I use that, this is the alpaca silk DK. So this is also alpaca. And the Shibui is alpaca silk also. Oh no, it's alpaca fine merino wool. And velvet.
The color, the plum color is velvet?
Yes, the plum color is velvet. This is the Odyssey Hues. It was a collection, so it doesn't say what the color is, but it's like a
pearl.
little.
It's almost pearly colored.
I think it even has a little bit. Yeah, it's like a pearly, but I was thinking like a little bit of purple in it, like a real light, like kind of a pale gray purple, but it looks white. So
that
Light
just,
purple.
I don't even know what that stitch is, but
It's
it
really
looks
cool.
like brioche, but it's not, right?
right,
They're just slip stitches?
It's slip stitch.
Man,
Yeah,
it is
it is.
just so gorgeous. Those colors, that is,
Yeah, it is.
And did you feel that?
Give me that on.
Yeah, this is the
you believe
alpaca
that
and
is-
merino for the silk.
Wow, that is
It is
lovely.
dreamy, soft, and
Yeah.
feels really good on.
I have no doubt.
I bet it does.
Right, and I can't say I did any modifications to it. Just made it pretty much to the length I like, and voila.
True pattern, right?
So I recommend this also.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of like it's our theme. It's like
Yeah.
everything we've made pretty much. It's like highly recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing the DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry. And this is a staple favorite. I just think it is so good. I did this in Trendsetter Yarns Wish in the turquoise colorway, and we talked about this on a previous episode. You can only find small bits and pieces of that out there. I don't think they're making the Wish yarn anymore. You know, when Janet had looked three episodes ago that day and saw one of the colorways still available, but it's just a darn shame. Here's the thing though, it makes the sweater so perfect that I think you could use any DK weight worsted spun and get the same effect. I mean, it does have Tweety bits in it. Is that DK? So that feels lighter to me. It's a much lighter DK than this one is, and I don't know if it's because it's worsted spun or what. I did not do any I did. I almost always do. I'm lying. So the modification I did is they always say to go down, it's either 1 or 2 needle sizes for the ribbing. I knit my ribbing nice and crisp. I don't know. I just wrap it one more time around my finger, so I'm tensioning it just a little bit more. And I do not like a tight cuff, so you can see that it just, when it gets to the cuff, it goes straight. I did all the sleeve decreases that were recommended, but I just don't go down a needle size for my ribbing on the cuff or the bottom. I don't want them to pull in, and I just would prefer it a little more straight right there. So that would, but I don't know that you really call that a modification. I just think that's knowing how you knit your ribbing, or you know, whether you need to go up or down a needle size. It's a gauge thing. But I probably knit it a little bit shorter. I did do the ribbing at the bottom as long. She calls for like a 4-inch ribbing on that, and I'm pretty sure that's what I did. So, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it fits very nicely.
I plan on making 2 or 3 more of these. When it says everyday sweater, they are not kidding. It is clearly a sweater you could wear every day. So, do we want to move on to finishes? What do you think?
Absolutely. I'm
Look
looking
at
forward
Janet's
to
got
that.
a stack of them.
You want to go first, Janet?
Yeah, let her go first. She's got a
Sure. Okay, the first one is the Hume by Isabelle Kramer.
Wow, so pretty.
Yep. Oh my gosh, look how that thing's coming across in the viewfinder. Holy moly,
Perfect.
the color is perfect.
So I decided to make it in long sleeves because I had plenty of yarn. So I did the long sleeve version. The yarn I used was Expression Fiber Arts.
You
This is
probably
what
need to get way closer.
Yeah, this is what the label looks like for that. And what yarn was it? It was a fingering, some gorgeous merino, probably a superwash merino, in the colorway of Bordeaux.
And that
No.
makes sense.
No, it was not Expression Fiber Arts. I am sorry. Good grief. I have the actual label for the Destination Yarns. Destination Yarns and Passport, and the color of that was Bordeaux. I've shown this on past episodes.
That's so funny.
I know, right?
But we've all
So-
done it.
Oh yeah.
Fingering, superwash.
Talk about
Merino.
your label. Somebody made a comment on the last episode or a couple episodes ago asking
Right.
about your labels and how you attach them.
Right.
So get it up there
So,
close and talk about it because
Here's my
hopefully they're
label.
watching.
So it says Handmade with Love by Janet. And so I got these off of Etsy, and they are from Reed's Engraving. And I just take a little darning needle and a little piece of yarn and just sew it on each end. There's a couple little holes on the thing, and just sew it in there.
So you're
And
using the
voila.
yarn that you knit the sweater with so it doesn't show.
Correct.
Perfect.
Correct. Yes.
We'll link that Etsy shop in the show notes. So
But I really like putting these on here. You easily know which is the back, what is the front.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to go to the
So-
grocery this morning and I put on a sweater and I stood there looking at it for probably 5 minutes before I put it on, trying to figure out the front from the back.
Yeah, I've done that.
And then I put it on and rushing around. It was a fingering weight superwash with mohair. Gorgeous sweater. I got so hot after spending all that time trying to figure out front to back. I had to take the darn sweater off because I was rushing around like
You
getting my
got too
purse and my
hot.
phone and my coupons and my grocery list and all the things. And then I was like, oh, I can't even wear the sweater now after I went through all that. So I went and put this on. Isn't that funny though? It's like I
Yes.
need to sew labels in all of mine. I mean, you got us some for Christmas. What was that? A couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
I've got one
last
in
year,
this.
a couple of years. Yeah,
And I put
Yeah,
one.
I really like using the labels. They're
yeah. I'm gonna have to sew one in that
really
one.
helpful.
Yeah, yeah, because I have a love note. I'm always going, okay, let's see which way does
Yeah.
it go, and I'm like, why don't I put a label in it?
Well, and what's good about doing short rows,
Right.
and after I spent all that time, I actually put it on backwards. And then I remembered that there's short rows. It's the Lilette it was the Lilette that I had on, and by Thea Coleman, and there's short rows in the ribbing, which it makes the ribbing in the back higher than the ribbing right in the front, and I was not smart enough to do that. So
Right, and sometimes the short rows, it doesn't make that big of a difference,
Yeah.
and it is kind of hard to tell.
yeah, and we
Right.
do such a good job with them.
Right, and then
Yeah.
weaving in.
Yeah.
on the back, a lot of times you can see a little weaved end, but sometimes they're hard to see too. So
Yeah, because sometimes you have more in the back than the front. If you have, especially if you have some kind of like this, you
Yeah.
can tell which is which.
Which is,
Yes.
yeah.
But that doesn't always happen.
Oh, you mean like with colorwork yoke or slip stitch or something?
Yeah,
Where-
the back is longer.
Yeah, but it wasn't that situation, and it was
Yeah.
just that little bit of ribbing, but dang, I should have used a label in that one. I probably wouldn't have worked up such a sweat. You want to go? You have a really awesome...
Yeah. So
Mostly
I have
finished.
been talking about the Andor Sweater by Linda Marving for quite a while. And I just looked it up on Ravelry, and I've been working on it since April. And here it is. It's all finished. I was going to model it, but it has a few... So I added the sleeves. They're just a little bit short, so I need to add onto the ribbing. And then when I blocked it, it's almost like it shrunk a little bit because it's supposed to be much longer than it is. So I'm going to reblock it and see and try to stretch it out a little bit. I'm not that almost never happens when you after.
You know what though?
Right,
That's
right.
the yarn that you're the first one to knit the first sweater.
I have another sweater out of this.
Did it shrink in length?
Not like that. So anyway,
I mean, it doesn't feel like it's felted at all. She put it in a pillowcase and spun the water out of it. Just a spin cycle, nothing else but spin. Just because it's so bulky, and it's not felted. I mean, it is clearly not. All the stitch definition is here. So it has to be just that it shrunk.
well, we're gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah.
blocking with some pins at the bottom.
Yeah,
just
I'll
really
pull it
did
out.
it, like-
And the problem is it pulls out. It kind of like
Flares. in the
flares in the back. So I'm not sure what's going on with it, but either way, I'm gonna go and reblock it, and then we'll try it again, and maybe next time I'll wear it for you so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, it is beautiful. I love the cables on it.
Yeah, so we were talking about
Yes.
just using like a spray bottle and laying it on our blocking mats and spraying it on the front and then flipping it over and let it lay there for a little while. And you don't want to get it soaking wet, but it's got to be wet enough for the fibers to relax.
Right.
And then
Right.
I got you guys the blocking wires for Christmas.
Or the pins, the pin things.
Not wires, the blocking
yeah.
cube of all the little, I don't even know what they are, blocking some things. It's a knit picks tool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send mine home with her. So she's got plenty
Make sure I
to
have
put across the
plenty.
shoulders to really hold it
Yeah.
and then pull it down and pin it. And if it has to lay there for a couple days, whatever. But,
It didn't
oh my
take
gosh,
very long
no.
for it to dry, really.
That is just going to be
Yes.
so warm. That is, I bet you're thrilled that you're done.
I'm so glad I'm finished. Like I said, April. I started it in April. So 6 months.
Yeah.
And I didn't just, work on this. I worked on other things too, but yeah.
That's a big project.
It
It's
is.
a really big project.
It was a
and it's
big
just-
project, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get this thing finished. So
You're gonna absolutely love it, and I can't wait to see it on you.
yeah, I had it on earlier.
So
Right.
pretty.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
I missed
thank
that.
you. I know.
The other thing, and if you can't make it, if that doesn't make it longer, to make that back have more drape, you can always pick your bind off out.
Well, to bottom up.
It's okay, and knit down. It'll be a half stitch off, but if it's so dark and it's down there, I don't know. I bet sweater surgery can happen. I mean, because you've worked too hard on it to not love it.
I know. It's been too
True.
Yeah.
And the only other way to make it longer and fix that flare, if you can't block it out, would be to take the sleeves and the collar off, unpick the bind off, and make it,
Now
and-
that sounds like a nightmare.
right. So I would go for the bottom.
Yeah, me too. That's way too much
It
work.
just seems, yeah.
Yeah, it's way too much.
Holy moly. Okay, so I only have one finish. And it is, it's amazing.
It is.
It is amazing.
So this is the Slipstravaganza by Stephen West. And it is finished and blocked in all of its amazing glory. And
Wow.
here it is.
that is
I mean,
gorgeous.
I don't even. I'll show it here the best I can, and then I'll put a picture of it laying across the bed. But look how beautiful these colors ended up blocking out. All the detail is in the last episode of all the yarns I used, and it's also on my Ravelry page, all the yarn, all the weights. I was kind of surprised. It is huge. I've worn it a couple of times already. But I mean, come on. It's like, oh, these colors. It's just so wearable.
I'm just so amazed at how quickly you made that. I just can't even imagine.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, I was committed to doing the mystery knit along. But I don't like mysteries. Knitting mysteries. But I know that I have loved a few of his shawls. And so I thought I would love that one. And honestly, I bet there are like 2 or 3 that I've seen. I've got mohair in my mouth, sorry. That are finished where the colorways look amazing. And some of them, if I had used the colors I picked, I think I would have been sorely disappointed. I would have looked like a bumblebee, where the colors in a different shawl would have looked amazing. But when I started doing this, I needed 4 colors, so I had to add one, which caused me to rethink a couple of them. But you know, I wasn't, I couldn't get on board based on that. I just need to see, I need to know more. I need, I just need more. But anyway, I had already committed to doing that, and so it was high on my priority list. And when I started with this, I just decided to keep going. And you change patterns, because this was a mystery a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And it just keeps changing as you go, and it's something new, and you're changing design, you're changing yarn, you're like switching it up. When you do this bit that looks like stained glass, oh my gosh, you guys, I mean, I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
I really couldn't put it down. I just didn't want to.
Very pretty.
And I did do the Weave and Steven, which I do with a lot of things. I learned that a few years ago, and it helps lots with all those ends. But love it, can't recommend it enough. I think I love it so much I may make another. Okay, so Janet, you have more finished objects, right?
Yes, I do. In
Okay.
fact, I have one very similar to what you're wearing. The DRK. Well, it's actually not very similar. It's very similar. It's the same pattern, similar color, different color.
Different colors, same yarn.
Okay, I'll get this right. Anyway, so it's the DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry.
That is so gorgeous. I love that color.
See, I could wear it latte. Yeah, you
I'll
could.
hold it up so you can see.
Yeah, I have 2 colors.
I have a nice, almost 4 inches hemline, like what Tammi had. The tag is in the back. Here it is. And let me just tell you, Tammi is so right on this, the yarn.
Yeah.
Trendsetter Yarns Wish. And the colorway of that is coffee. And it is a great everyday sweater.
Yeah. It fits you
I
so
just
nice.
love it.
We got together the other day and she wore it and it was just so good. Okay, so mine has browns and beiges speckles in it, and yours has everything speckles in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's pink and blue and yellow and turquoise. Oh, it's just beautiful yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would make it again, but I have no idea what happened. Something must have happened at the mill.
Mm-hmm. So on the last episode, I was working on these sweaters and I was pretty much done with the body on all of them except for the sleeves. So I was really busy working on sleeve after sleeve after sleeve.
I bet you're ready to move on.
Yes.
That's so funny.
It's like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get all these sleeves done?
Yeah, well, you did. That's
did.
just amazing.
And the last one is the Fernwood Raglan by Alicia Plummer. And here it is.
Beautiful.
The colors are so lovely.
Lace detail on the bottom. And just a regular long sleeve. But this is also a really nice sweater that I would recommend.
Do you want to give away your
And-
secret on how she
This one, I used the Zen Yarn Garden Serenity worsted. Wait.
Oh, Serenity. That's got cashmere in it.
Yeah, it's just so soft. It's got the
Yeah, it is.
wool, merino, superwash merino wool, and cashmere in it.
That's
And-
just beautiful. Again, all those
Yes.
colors.
Yeah.
It's got all those pretty colors that I love.
Oh. I don't know. Have we seen that one on you? Have you
No.
actually
No,
worn it
I
yet?
don't think
so.
You'll have to wear it next time so
I'm
we
gonna
can
be
see
wearing
that
it.
in
Yeah.
its gorgeousness.
Yes.
That's beautiful. I mean, it reads like just a really deep, plummy sweater until you get close to it, and then you see all those colors.
all the
It's just-
colors. And I thought the pooling did really well on this one as far as not pooling too much. But I did do the helical knitting, which is basically using 2 balls of yarn in each row. You slip 3 stitches, and the third stitch is the one with the next yarn. So then you just start knitting and go around, and you stop 3 stitches before that, and then add the other yarn. So it's a simple process, and it's effective.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world with those hand-dyed yarns.
It sure does. So,
All that indie-dyed stuff.
but when you're
Wow.
working on 2 projects like this one and the Yum that I worked on was both the indie.
Oh, right. Wow.
So it's like, okay, do I really want to helical knit both of these? Well, I did. So
Did you helical knit the sleeves as well, or did you stop?
yes,
Yeah, you went ahead and did
yeah, helical knitted the sleeves. The one on the Yum I didn't. The yarns look the same, so I didn't helical knit. So one of the sleeves looks a little lighter, but it was good enough to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not going to rip it out.
No, I asked
and
because you couldn't
redo
tell.
it.
I mean, I don't think it doesn't read like that.
I got to the last sleeve out of the 3 sweaters, and I was like, okay, these colors are,
It's just fine.
fine. I'm done with the helical. Even though
I
it's
want off the island.
right, I went off the
Yeah.
island. I'm going to speed through the last sleeve. Get this done.
Yeah.
Serious business.
Yes.
Oh
So
my
I was
gosh.
so glad to have those done to show you today.
That's amazing. 3 sweaters.
Way to go,
Yes.
Janet.
Yeah.
Ready for the winter.
Good job, you. I know, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yes.
So what do we do now? Works in progress?
Works in progress.
Oh, yes.
Whips.
Do you have whips?
I have a couple.
Okay.
All right, so the next is a Fiola by Isabelle Kramer. And I have the body finished.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Wow.
And now it's just a matter of getting on Sleeve Island. You came off, I've got to go on. But I think this will be fine because, it's going to be fun because it has those beautiful lace on the sleeve. So at least it'll keep me occupied and interested. So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and the yarn.
Yeah,
let's see if I-
love the yarn.
yeah, this yarn is
So pretty for that sweater,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Just,
it's the Milo Manos de Uruguay. See if I can get your face out of there. There we
Oh,
go.
perfect.
Yeah, and the colorway is conifer. And yeah, I still have an extra ball left, so I'll be starting on those sleeves here pretty soon. Maybe next time I'll be able to wear that.
yes.
Goodness.
I'm sure you're anxious to get those done.
Oh yeah.
I know,
Wear it.
Right. Well, and I probably could have had this done, but I really wanted to get the Andor finish. I
yes.
wanted that off of my plate big time. Yeah, so yeah, the yarn is really beautiful. It has linen in it, so it has kind of a heathered look. And there's different colors in it. I don't know if you can tell the colors, but there's light blues and light greens, and yeah, it's just something else.
Very subtle.
Very subtle. Yes, very, very subtle.
Oh, that is just so beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you have a whip?
I have
Silly girl.
cute lips and these cute little bags.
Oh, that's another me-made bag.
Yeah, it is.
The first one I've showed in the last episode is the Scottish Highlands Shawl by Kay Hopkins.
That is looking so good. Oh, wow. Look at the progress
And
she's made.
I'm making the larger size, and I've got all the blue completed on this.
right.
And I go and showcase this. It's nothing like the big Stephen West shawl, but it's pretty big.
You're not done yet, though. I mean,
I'm not done. I still have plenty to
And
do.
you still have all that beautiful lace.
yeah.
So I knit it all the way to the end. So I have one little tiny piece of blue. And so I'm waiting on another ball to come in. So I will be tinking back a little bit, and then I will spit splice the blue back on there. And so then I can finish this row and
Are you really? That's the last row of the blue, and you ran
yes, exactly. But I do there's going to be some more blue at the end of this.
Oh, God.
But I will be starting the whoops, this is the back side. Anyway, I'll be starting this pretty pattern here with the gray color. This is Knit Picks. I have it somewhere. Oh, it's in my bag. Let's just get it. It's the Knit Picks Fingering Gloss. And the colorway Captain is the blue and Robot is the gray. So I'm so anxious to continue with this because now I'm at the point where I'm going to make this little section here with the gray, and then I'm going to start the lace work. So that's the part that's really pretty on this.
That's really pretty, though.
I mean-
that top part is just, oh. And you'll see from the photo that I put up when she told who the name of the shawl and everything, how they show it so it drapes, and those
Oh,
gray
yes.
stripes are gonna look like little necklaces.
See.
Yeah, you might not be able to get it to do it like that with the cord in it, but oh my
Right.
gosh, that is gonna be so
gonna be-
beautiful.
something like this.
Yeah. Oh, that color is so gorgeous. I think it's almost the color of your eyes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So-
perfection. Oh my gosh.
Yes. It's taken me a while, but I've worked on all those sleeves.
Yeah. And you said that's DK, right? Fingering.
This is fingering.
It just feels so squishy.
Yes, this is 100% merino wool, and oh no, I'm sorry. I'm really good with these yarns today. Not 70% merino wool and 30% silk.
Oh,
No wonder
wow.
it's so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why it's gloss
Oh,
with
okay.
the silk in
silk
it.
is giving it the gloss, but that garter makes it just so squishy.
Yes.
It looks like it's a thicker yarn than it actually is. That's going to be toasty warm around your neck.
So no, not with this, never mind. So this is just a pattern. I'm making the long size. It's going along nicely.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay, so I have a project that I'm working on that I've been working on for a while. This is the Wildflowers Path by Melody Hoffmann, also known as B. Mandarin. And here it is. So I just did all the little flower embroidery today. So I finished the bottom and I blocked it just to make sure. See where it looks like it's sort of puckering right here? I went from a 9 to an 8 to a 7 needle size.
Wow, that's so pretty.
And I wanted to make sure on the back that it wasn't going to pucker like that. In the front, you kind of need it for the girls, you know, it just kind of makes a nice little pocket for them. But on the back, I wanted to make sure it was nice and
Those
flat.
flowers
And
are
it is.
so pretty on there.
These
Love the
flowers are the
flowers.
easiest thing ever. I may do a Instagram reel showing how I do one of those because I talked about it last time. So the sleeves are not done. They're on barber cords. I just knit them as long as I thought I needed to until I decided what I was actually going to do with them. So modifications on this are I added ribbing at the collar and I did not do any sleeve decreases at all. I just went straight down. I like that look. I've got other sweaters that are like that. And it's just, God, it's so flippin' soft. So
such beautiful colors.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and I love it.
I mean, if
love
what I
this
might do
sweater.
is just film a really quick video, and I might pop that out here on YouTube just so you can see how easy. I mean, because honestly, you'll be shocked at how easy that is. And there's no exact science to it. Nothing is measured. You just kind of do it. But I am going to put a little around one. I will do like a 1-inch rib. Well, both of them will have both sleeves will have a little bit more stockinette, and then a 1-inch rib. And around the circumference of one, I'll do flowers. And on the other sleeve, I think I'm going to do like a little pile of flowers or like a little pool of them or something, just to make it different.
Oh, that'll be
But I think it'll be
gorgeous.
so good, and I cannot wait.
It's so pretty. I love the way it drapes.
Yeah. So the yarn that I used, I didn't really talk about that, and that's kind of like the star of the show, is Nutiden, and this is in the parallel colorway. So you can see all those dark pink pops in it. And I'm holding that with Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the colorway Plum Rose. So it's these two colors together that are giving me that gorgeous look. And I love it. I am like the biggest Nutiden fan ever. And I gotta tell you, so I only used one plate so far.
That's amazing.
This is how much there
That's
is left.
amazing.
And I think I bought 5 of these. Yeah.
Wow.
So I I'm overbuying on the Nutiden because I don't know how much I really need to buy. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's all. That's all I have to say about that. You'll see it next time finish. I love it.
Yeah, it's so
I do
pretty.
too.
So now what? More work?
Oh yeah,
I
have
think
a,
she has something.
I have my Epernay by Thea Coleman, or Baby Cocktails. And I am just, so I must really like doing cables because there's more cables. And, but it is coming along. I haven't, like I said, I haven't spent a lot of time on anything, but I did make some progress. And oh my gosh, those cables come out so clearly on there. This is just a, what you call, texture. It's a texture part. And then this is in the front. That'll be all across the front.
That's pretty.
More texture. And then these are little side panels. And I'll tell you what, I am loving this, and I'm loving knitting on it. It's just very fun. And the yarn I'm using is the same maker as my Andor, and it's the Marisol Hoonie. And the colorway is Jade. And this also is probably not going to find it anywhere because when I bought it, it was a closeout. And so.
Oh, I remembered because I got that same color, we got it at a really good price.
Yeah, it was so good. I ended up buying blue, I have sand, I have a dark kind of that color. I have I have a light color of that. Let's see. And that.
Yeah.
The jade. So
Now, was that one we got on was it Little Knits?
I don't remember. It might have
I think
been.
it was Webs.
It could have been
I think
Webs.
it was yarn.com. Webs.
Yes, I think it's Webs.
We'll link those two. Little Knits is a discount often, right?
It's like they do closeouts. People will send. It's almost, this is my opinion. I think people send them when they have
Like smaller quantities.
send it to them, and they kind of get it all together.
They're like a
and ship it.
clearinghouse, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And you've linked them before.
I did, yeah. I'll link them again.
Yeah.
So I'll link Little Knits and then yarn.com or Webs. Same
Yeah.
company. It's
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did a light green too. I have to wear that sweater. I got light green too.
Oh, right.
In the
I forgot about
Tofino sand.
Yes.
Yes.
That's gorgeous. And that Baby Cocktails, I keep saying she's flipping amazing, and she is.
She is. Yeah.
Queen of cables.
Yeah. So on Instagram, I've been seeing her doing, like it was everything that she had released in November on prior years. And now she's just kind of like re-showing some of her older patterns.
Yeah.
And it makes you fall in love with them all over again. She knew we were going to do that. Good. Smart advertising there.
Yeah.
Because you see them and it's like, oh,
They're
look so
beautiful.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is going to be, that Epernay is going to be gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about
So
that.
that's a very cropped sweater.
That's cropped. I'm not sure how cropped. I'll make it. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, you'll probably go ahead and do it to your regular length, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm good. It's one of those things I have to just see how it feels.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be regular length. It'll probably be somewhat cropped for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So, is it my turn or not? I can't even
Oh, it
remember.
is your
Do you
turn.
have more?
It is your turn. I do have more, but it is your turn.
Okay, I don't remember.
It doesn't matter as long as you get the top.
I know, right? We'll all get our stuff in. I just have a whole pile here. So I also last time talked about the Orbits by Rachel Illsley. And I talked about ladder back jacquard. So here's the sweater.
Oh my gosh. It is
Yeah,
so
look at that.
stunning.
So I'm not a whole lot further with it, but I am a little further with it.
That's so gorgeous.
Yeah, did I even... I don't think I brought the bag. Shame on me. I did not bring the bag. I only brought the sweater, so I don't even have the yarn down here with me, but I can tell you about it. So the blue background color, the main color, is Holst yarn, super soft in, is it Oxford? No.
No. It's a. I'll tell you here in a second. Keep talking.
Prussian blue.
Russian blue. That's it.
Wood like a steel trap. Sometimes it traps it in there so good.
It doesn't want to come out then.
And the multicolored yarn is actually Hobbii Dream Color fingering weight, and in sand, something sand. Sandy beach. I don't know. Something sand. Here's what I'll do. When I put the picture of it and who it's by, I'll also put the yarn I used on the screen. So you will have already seen that, and I'll look like a fool because you'll know what it is before before I even start trying to tell you. But I wanted to show you the inside, the ladder back jacquard. So I guess I can just flip the whole thing wrong side out. I know some people love to see floats. So here's the inside, and this top part, those are regular floats. I caught some of them and others I didn't. And then down here, you can see where it changes a little bit. And this, the fabric is actually 2 layers. So what looks like knit stitches here, you're actually purling them on this side, and you bring your yarn, your working yarn forward, and then you purl that, and then you put your working yarn towards the back again after you've purled it, and it's making the separate layer. So you can kind of see here where that's a completely separate layer, and it's keeping those super long floats, because look how far apart they are. It keeps them from having to be caught on the front. Is that not the coolest thing?
Yeah.
That
So
is really cool.
did you...
Let's see.
Wow.
It's all this part.
Really pretty.
And I started it way up like a couple of inches ago. And then, so my tension changed a little bit when I did that because
Is it looser or
it
tighter?
got actually looser, which is weird because I felt like I was doing it really loose to begin with. But anyway, I'm going to use it for the next inch or so, and then I'll be done with the body color work, and then it'll just be round and round and round. So this, of course, is a fingering weight sweater, and I am holding both of these single. And the color work goes down the sleeves. It actually matches up with the body, so it'll end somewhere down here. But loving it. I'm very, very happy with it. And, you know, it's fingering weight, so it takes a while. But the color work
beautiful.
is so much fun, and I've just got other things. You'll see. There's there's other
Gorgeous.
stuff I'm working on, so it's not my only priority. It's just one of many. So more whips.
No, I don't have any more.
Janet, you got more whips?
I do.
Okay.
Another one of my cute bags. Oh, I'm going to show this one first. Okay, so since we last talked, I started the Fairy Bouquet by Joanna Ang.
So beautiful.
She's got a couple beautiful sweaters in that color that she's done.
Wow.
Here it is. I'll hold it up so you can see this top portion in all its glory. This is so much fun to do. I've learned some new stitches and It's just been so fun. And I haven't got very far on it, but believe me, I'll be picking this up and moving along with it
That is really gorgeous.
very soon. So I've used 2 yarns, and the first one in white is from Sheepish Creations, and it's a superwash merino chainette. And I got this at our Mid-Ohio Fiber Festival.
Are you looking for the white?
I look for, yeah, I had the tag somewhere.
Oh.
It's probably, here it is. So here's what the tag looks like. Sheepish Creations. And then also I held double with the Aloft by Knit Picks. And that's the lace weight mohair. And it's just feels really nice. It's just very soft.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's not, it's squishy too, because of the chainette you're using and the
Yeah.
Huh?
That's
It's
gonna
very,
be
very
toasty
soft and
and-
squishy and lovely.
It's very lofty. Yeah.
Yeah,
very pretty.
yeah, lofty. That's a good word. So,
It's just beautiful. It's like a gorgeous winter white color.
Yeah, be really pretty with winter white
Oh,
pants.
yeah.
so
You could be like a
just a little
snowflake.
thing right now, but it's gonna grow. Having fun with it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right, so should I move on?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I told you last time that my dream knitting, and I had actually bought some yarn, was going to be the drawing sweater by Tomami Yashimoto, and I hope I'm not messing that up. All right, so I did a gauge swatch, and that was after we did the last episode. And I started it with just, so up to here is just yarn held single, and then I ended up holding it double, and I'll show you the yarn here in a second. And then I started the color work, and I just went ahead and knit it flat, which, you know, it's not that big a deal. But I just wanted to see how I like those colors together, and I decided I really liked them. Alrighty, so what I'm using is Pearl Soho Good Wool, and I'm using the colorway Winter Grass, and then the other one is Hickory Nut, and that's
Ready together.
I know these two beautiful
Yeah.
colors, right? So I've started, I'm actually holding Hobbii Alpaca Silk. It's a lace weight. And these two together, you can see how light the lace weight is compared to the sport weight yarn. But I have humble beginnings. I've just got to the point where I am starting on the color work. So the short rows are done up to that point, but they do, I think, continue a little bit.
When you get into the color work.
I think I'm going to have to look. It maybe doesn't, but you can see that the short rows are a little different than what I've done before. They come right up to the collar in the front, but then there's quite a bit here starting on the side, like on the shoulders. Anyway, it'll be really interesting to see how all that comes together. And I want to get going on the orbits, but I'm actually waiting on yarn. So I was trying to hold the brown by itself, and it ended up, it wasn't looking right. So Claudia was placing an order for some more Hobbii yarn, and I had her order me a couple of skeins that will go with this brown color. And so when that comes in, I'll get started. But in the
Coming in
meantime,
soon.
yeah, in the meantime, I think I'm gonna just keep working on my Orbits sweater. So, do you have more whips?
No, I do not.
But you do.
Yes. Okay, so spoiler alert.
Oh, right, right.
The last episode or 2 episodes ago, I talked about doing the Cal Winter Wonderland by Kay Hopkins. So it started on November 4th, and at the time there was just these four yarns that we had to pick 4 yarns that were like a gradient. So these were the 4 that I picked for the project.
Beautiful.
They are.
And
That's a nice
then
color. Yeah. Neutrals.
Okay,
so each week we had a clue, and so we had a certain amount that we had to knit, and so right now we're on week 3, so I've barely begun week 3. But this is what the progress is for the first 2 weeks.
that is so gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Really, it is. It's gorgeous.
So,
Oh,
thank you.
that is
So the
beyond.
dark color is for this week, so I'm behind on this week, and I think I'm going to be staying behind because of Thanksgiving and things that are going on. Yeah, so this is going to be a wrap, and I'm really happy with it so far, and I think I'll be able to wear it with just about anything.
Oh my
because
gosh.
it's
all
so
those
neutral.
beautiful- Yeah.
Yeah, those the patterns that she has in there are just so lovely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really are. You did a
So
great
that's
job.
why I wanted to do the little, it's the big mystery little.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah,
So
there's
I'm
not
really
gonna be
happy with the
anything little.
progress. The yarns that I'm using are the Chroma from Knit Picks in white. And that's a superwash merino. And I'm using 2 of the Holst yarn. The Holst yarn and let's see, what was this called? Tammy's using this also.
Oh, that one's Pussy Willow.
Yeah, the Pussy Willow.
And then
and then
Oxford.
The
Right? Oxford Gray?
Oxford Gray, correct. So these 2.
That's what I had in my head when I was trying to think of that blue.
These 2 colors. And then I'm also using the Alpaca Warehouse in color G02, which is gray. So,
Gorgeous.
it's keeping me busy.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. Like each section, she talks about like the North Pole is right now. The North Pole is the dark gray. She calls this the snowstorm. Kind of looks like snowballs. Little groups of snowballs. And then we have the wings, like angel wings. And then train tracks for the Polar Express, and then we have Christmas trees in this section. And then, I don't know what the stripes are. Charlie Brown Christmas maybe?
I don't know, but whatever they are, they look really good.
So,
It's a good balance.
but each section has a theme, and she mentions the different, the shows, Polar Express, etc. And she has little recipes for cookies and hot chocolate and all the goodies.
Wow.
So it's fun.
That will be so much fun. So when does the make-along actually end?
It ends December 9th, so
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have too much time. 3 more weeks.
How many sections are there?
It only seems like it's 2, but it should 3 more weeks because I've got 3 more clues to go. And I'm barely begun on this one, so gotta get busy.
Well, darn it.
I might be a little bit behind, but
But you're
we'll see.
loving it, right? You're
I'm loving it.
enjoying
It's fun.
Yeah.
If I don't get it done, I don't get it done.
Yeah. So that's not scary like some of the Stephen
Oh,
West
yeah.
make-along.
No,
mystery knit
not
along.
scary at
Right.
all. This is just fun stuff
Her
here.
yeah, I mean,
just some lace work and, it's nothing difficult, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks really nice.
it's gorgeous. It's going to
So-
be so beautiful to wear.
Uh-huh.
And next year you'll be able to wear it for the holidays.
Yes.
That'll be so much fun. All right, so I do have a couple more.
Go for it.
So, I'm not sure when it was. A couple, 3 years ago maybe, I knit the Lumi socks by Fiber Tales. And our daughter and son-in-law came over and our feet were cold, so I got the socks out and said, here, put these on. And she put them on and she's like, wow, can I have them? And because I love her dearly, I said yes. We tease about being selfish knitters, but if I've given things away like that.
Me too.
And it just happened, right? Mm-hmm. So, hair in my mouth again. These are the Lumi socks. So they have a heel flap and heel turn and gusset, just like regular socks. And there is this beautiful Latvian braid. And so there's a left and a right on these. And here's the second one.
Those are adorable.
Yeah, aren't they? They're going to be so nice and thick. So I am using not this color because I've used every speck of my yarn. Okay, let me see. Hide the girlfriends. So this is Hobbii Snowstorm. This is a 100% wool yarn. Oh, I think it actually says that on the label. It's 100% wool yarn. It is a bulky weight, but I was a little nervous about making slippers and 100% wool to walk around in all the time. So I held it double with a fingering weight yarn that I had in my stash, and it's just Cascade Heritage, and it's a 75-25 merino, superwash merino wool nylon blend. And then the peachy colors that I used on the flower embroidery and the Latvian braid are just some scraps. But I said, it's got a left and a right foot, and you want to make sure you get them on the foot the right way. So I just did these little flowers on the outside, so I know that it's the right foot, that you're sticking them in the right way.
Great idea.
Yeah.
It really is.
And those actually, surprisingly, I did these on the other slippers that I gave Karen. And this is the same flower motif that
on the
is
others.
on the sweater that I'm doing,
Yeah.
the Wildflowers path.
Uh-huh.
So when I say it's super easy, there was no instruction. I just did that on
Made
the
it
other
up.
ones because I thought it needed something to know what foot you were putting it on. But anyway, I thought these were really great, and it's about to get super cold here. It was actually, so we did it again, guys. We're in a south suburb of Dayton, Ohio in the U.S. It's the Bellbrook area, and in the last few days, it got down to 17 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty darn chilly. Mm-hmm. And I mean, today it's back up at, would you say 55 or something?
Yeah.
Yes. It's
warm today.
gorgeous.
It's a pretty day.
Gorgeous. We almost were on a podcast on the deck, but we were afraid we'd get a little chilly sitting out there. Okay, so I have one more whip I'll show real quick, and then we will move on. So these are vanilla socks. There is no pattern, so there's no picture. It is, I do a 64 stitch
They're so cute.
on a US one. I don't like really long socks. I wear shorty boots all the time, and so, that much will stick out of the top. But it is done in West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. And the colorway of this is 09. Are you kidding me? There's no name for something that beautiful. I am not, I feel like it's got a bird colorway, like Wise Owl or something. I'll put it in the show notes. So I have one sock done, and the second one is getting close. I've already done the heel flap and heel turn, and I'm done with the gusset decreases and just working my way down the foot. And they're an identical match. So before I started the first one, this time I was smart enough to, they both start with brown, and I pulled enough out to where the brown was going into the next color section, and I just kind of went, okay, so it's this long 2 times, and I tied my slip knot right there. So the next time, the next sock, I could do exactly the same thing. And I really did, I've got such a tiny ball that I had to wind off. It worked out pretty darn good because I'd already finished the brown here and then the gray and the dark. And so I really only had to wind off like one color to get there. So it turned out really pretty good.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
I like
So-
the way the pattern that makes. And so, do you have to have a specific gauge for that for that yarn
Yeah,
to do that?
so it's funny because I was just last week watching a podcast, and I can't even tell you who it was, and she was talking about the yarn being faulty, that there was something wrong with it because she'd knit with it before, and all these cute little blips that are part of the pattern weren't coming out right. And she called West Yorkshire Spinners and complained to them about it, and they told her it was her gauge, which of course it's your gauge. I use a US one, so I'm doing these on a 9-inch circ. However, for the heel turn, I'm not the heel turn, the heel flap and then the turn, I always either use double pointed needles. I just leave all the front stitches on my 9-inch, and I'll use 2 double pointed needles and just knit back and forth. Or if I'm too lazy to get those, and my 40-inch Chiagu one needle is available, I'll just do it on that as well. But it just makes it a lot easier. You can do the whole thing on a 9-inch circular, but it's hard on your hands. There's just a lot of
tiny work.
It's just too tiny work, yeah. And picking up the stitches down the side of the heel flap for the gusset, it's so much easier when you've got a different needle that you're working with. So that's kind of how I do it. But I didn't show the other color. I want to say that they don't really match, but you know, they go together. It's just fine. So this is also West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply, and I want to say that colorway, it's a spice.
Looks like a cinnamon, maybe?
Nutmeg.
It's 06, maybe it's nutmeg. 06, yeah, so I think nutmeg is what it is. It does look like cinnamon. It could, yeah, I'm not even really exactly sure. But anyway, I decided I needed some more socks, and I definitely needed some slippers. So that's it for whips.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah.
It's a lot of whips.
A lot of whips.
Okay, so we have some purchases. We have some things that have come into our lives lately. Do you want to go? Claudia, you want...
Dream knitting.
No?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
was going
wanna-
to talk about dream knit.
Well, let's just skip all of our... Well, you know what, though? Then I will, because I got Nutiden, and I want to talk about the Nutiden. So there was just an update with OOAK Air, and I ended up getting these 2 colors of Nutiden. They are Nina, that's the blue, and I like knitting it single, but I want to hold it with this navy
It's gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
Lana Grossa silk hair. I think that will be gorgeous together. And then I had bought some Shibui tweed silk cloud some time ago in this bright bright green color, and I'm gonna hold that with this. But
wow.
here's the thing, when I held these together,
Color work.
I'm thinking either color work or I feel a striped sweater coming on.
Those are beautiful.
I love
colors
navy and green together. And anyway, so I wanted to show that to you. That's really, oh, there's one more thing though, because this is really kind of important. And I don't know if this is still happening, but I will tell you that, let me see if I can find, Molly Klein Design posted on Instagram last week that she and her babies were moving out, and she needed to get rid of stuff in her shop to be able to downsize what she was moving. And I don't know the circumstances, but anytime you hear of a young mom moving out with their kids, you want to do what you can to help. So she was doing a 3 skein mystery bag. You couldn't pick. I think she said, if you really are feeling like you need it to be something, tell me. Otherwise, so anyway, this came yesterday. This one is Sweet Sock in the colorway Rusty Watering Can.
So pretty.
I know, it's really gorgeous. If you don't know her, I've never bought her yarn before, but you know what? I wanted to support her and give it a try. So there's that one. This one is also Sweet Sock, 75% merino, 25% nylon, and the colorway Pocahontas. God, these are just beautiful. She is really, really good with these colorways. And then this last one is Tweed Sock, and it's 8515 superwash, and the colorway is Evergreen. And it is some gorgeous tweedy bits. So anyway, I just wanted to show that. So now I'm all in for dream knitting. What you got?
Well, I bought this yarn, gosh, quite a while ago. This is Moonshine, Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine, and the colorway is Feldgrau. And I'm looking at knitting the Home Cardigan by Cadre. And so I've done a swatch, and there's two colors. I put it together. This one I bought at the Wool Gathering in Yellow Springs a couple years ago. Before, was it after COVID or before COVID? I don't remember. But anyway, it's a beautiful yarn.
Yeah.
And it's called from Macmillan Fiber Company, and she was a very nice lady, and she does this herself, and it's in fluff, 70% mohair, silk, and the color is called French Green, and it's really beautiful. It's got a little bit of red speckles in it, and so it's just, I've been trying to figure out what I was going to use this for, and so these two, I think, go extremely well together.
They do.
And so I've knit a swatch to see how I liked it and to get the right gauge, figure out what needle I needed. And this is the swatch. So you can kind of see the mohair in there. And so I think that's going to be a fun sweater. And partly reason I started this too is because it's a 15 stitch gauge.
Oh, wow.
And then, so I'm like, I want to do something that's going to go really fast and not take me 6 months.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so that's my plan, and I'm going to, I'll have that cast on by next time for sure.
Okay, awesome. So do you have a dream
I
you'd
do.
like to talk about?
I have a few dreams.
Okay.
The first one, well, I had talked before about the Grace Notes pullover. That was one of my, and that is by Hobbii Locatelli. And I had made a swatch with the Trendsetters Wish initially. And this is the swatch that I used for that. And the gauge wasn't quite right. So I found this other yarn that I really liked.
Oh man.
So, and this is a worsted weight versus DK, which was what the other one was. And so, this is the wool of the Andes. And it is amethyst heather. And so I haven't started it yet, but this is was right on gauge, and so I'm
The color's
ready to
gorgeous.
start that.
That is beautiful. Yeah.
Looks a lot
Thank
like
you.
this.
Yeah, you can tell what color I.
That's
Purple.
a good one. That's gorgeous. Both of those are good. Both of those swatches.
Thank you. And then, so should I go through the rest of my stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm working on gauge swatch right now for the Snowdrop headband by Along Avid Anna. And I'm still working on the swatch. Wasn't quite on gauge with the 6, so now I'm working with a 5 needle to see if I can get gauge on that. And I'm using the Capra DK weight. And that is in Magnolia Heather. So I'm hoping to do something that will be quick.
That's great. That's really,
There's something to be said for quick.
yeah. That is really, really nice.
And an inspiration by both Inga from Knitting Traditions and We Grow Wild is the watch cap. And that is, the watch cap is by Pearl Soho and specifically Jake Canton. And I'm using this wool of the Andes for that, but I haven't done a swatch yet. But that's also on my radar. And also, I really want to do the Soul Boot Cowl by Inga as well from Knitting Traditions. And I haven't picked what colors or swatch for that either. So
That'll
but
be your first color work.
those are my next things on my radar that I really want to get going on the needles.
Those are some good plans. Those are really good.
So,
Okay, so I have one that I want to talk about, and I must have fallen down the Instagram hole this morning because I saw the Killer Queen cowl by Lyrical Notes. That's her Instagram handle, but she's also Mary Annarella. And I ended up buying that. So I think for the next few days, so today is November 22nd, Tuesday, so this will be up probably Wednesday the 23rd. She just put all of her patterns on sale. I want to say it was like 25 or 40% off. I'm not sure, but whatever. I started looking at her patterns and I fell in love right away. And that Killer Queen cowl is gorgeous. It's a slip stitch cowl, and I think that it is in, I want to say it's either DK or worsted weight, but anyway, I will have had a picture of it up here on the screen. And I haven't picked my yarn yet, so it's just one of those where you can use some variegated yarn. It could be any of those skeins that you have that you don't know what the heck to do with. Two colors that either go together or don't, but the way she's got the slip stitches, it's almost like that one, that Andrea Mowry one that you bought.
Oh, yeah.
One of her Slipstravaganza thingies. No, not Slipstravaganza. No. Yeah.
oh goodness, I can't
It's
think
the
of it.
stitch thing that
Yeah, the cow.
sew in the back, and she did a shawl, and she's done sweaters, and yeah.
Yep.
Drawing a blank, big
Yep.
old blank, but that's what it kind of reminds me of with a completely different pattern. Beautiful. So real quick, I do have a sweater surgery.
I have one more too.
Oh, you have one. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You do that first, and then I'll talk about my sweater surgery.
Okay. So I have one more sweater that I've been wanting to work on for quite a while. It's Drama by Jennifer Steingass.
Yeah.
And so I bought this yarn a while back. It's Spin Cycle Dream State, and the colorway is End of Summer. And it's a good name for it because the colors in it just look like fall. And so I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I have two of these, so I have about 300 yards. And so I decided the Drama might be a good choice, but I'm not sure what yarn to put with it. So this is brown, and I kind of like that. And this is what I did the my poncho in, the chocolate brown. And then I have navy blue.
That's my choice. I think that looks so gorgeous.
And then I have gray.
The gray looks really good.
The gray looks really good too. So, you know what? I was actually thinking maybe you guys can help me out with that.
Yeah, like weigh in on what you
Yeah,
like.
you tell me, what colors do you like? There's the brown. Okay, and the navy blue. Or the gray.
Those are all good choices.
I know, right? So maybe that's why I can't pick.
Somebody else needs to help you out with that.
Yeah.
So if y'all could comment and let her know which one to
Yeah.
go with.
If you have a favorite, let me know. And maybe I'll just see how many of each color votes I get for different colors, and then pick that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, sweater surgery. Now I will do this. This is the
Cummerbund.
Cummerbund by Ankestrick.
No. Sorry, I have to look it up here.
Oh, it's on the screen.
It's Isabelle Kramer.
No.
No.
It's on the screen, so you'll know.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You all know before I do.
Yes.
Oh, my hair just keeps getting in my mouth. Anyway, while she's looking it up, I'll talk about it. So I did this a while ago, and I did what she suggested. I used, is it Ankestrick?
Yeah.
Okay, I was right. I used Cathra DK in this colorway, which I think is called blush or pink. I think it's blush. And I held that with Drops Kid Silk Hot Pink Mohair, and I got this gorgeous fabric with it. However,
So pretty.
the way, with it being so thick, I love everything about it. It's super heavy and warm, and when in her pattern she talked about it wanting it to be a very dense fabric. Well, that was all fine and good, but on my body shape, maybe because I'm so short-waisted and bigger in the front, it made the back stick out, and it was really sticking out a little bit in the front. It was very tinty in the front and the back at the bottom. So I ripped out all of that double, if you don't know the pattern, it actually was a folded under hem, so it was double. And so I did it once, and I was holding the mohair with the back side of it, and I did the going down a needle size and all the things, and it made it too bulky. So I took that out and ripped it back, re-knit it with just the pink. Here's some of the remnants. And then I hemmed it again. And it still was super bulky. I made this thing months and months and months ago. and I have never worn it. So yesterday morning, I ripped the hem out again and decided to just do ribbing. And so here's the ribbing, not very much of it. I reused the yarn. I know we've talked about this in the past. I have plenty of the new, but because I was doing ribbing and I actually knit my ribbing pretty tight, I felt comfortable reusing this yarn. Look at the kinks in here, kids.
Oh, you did reuse
I
that?
reused it. Yeah, so this is just what's left because when you knit it, you're turning it under. So all that I ripped out was really extra because it was on the back side. It was already as long as I wanted it to be. It was just too flary. So I didn't want to add too much ribbing to it. And I didn't really want to take the time to soak it. I just wanted it done. So I put it on, and I do need to soak it because you can see a clear line across it where I had picked up, you do the bind off, you know, knitting, picking up a stitch, a leg on the back side. It's like any folded neckline or hat brim or whatever. So that's how you finally bind off, but you can see a line. And so I will block it, but I just wanted to get it done and see if I liked it, because honestly, if that didn't work, I was ripping the whole darn thing out. And that's probably, yeah.
What's the verdict? It's
I love
perfect.
it. It's a little longer. I mean, it's like 1.5 inches longer than I usually knit, but it is the perfect V-neck sweater now.
Oh, that's
And it's so
excellent.
perfect that I may do it again in fingering weight with mohair,
Which is what
and
I
get
did.
the same gauge and use the way she did. I mean, look at the neckline of that. So you knit it. I can't give too much away on the pattern, but she has you do this thing and you end up folding it back and tacking it down to this purl ridge here. And then I did something a little different. I did a modification where I think she has you whip stitch it down when you're all done. But when I got to that, I just knit those stitches together with what was on the front. And you can see it kind of pulls in just a bit, but it's perfect. And it makes it make sense, I think. So anyway, love it. And sweater surgery. And now I've got something not only
New.
will I wear, yeah, it's new to me now. Not only will I wear it, but I love the shape of it now so much that I'm considering making another with something else, because I've got all kinds of fingering weight yarn that I don't know what to do with.
Well, and that's what I used for mine. Was
Is
a
fingering.
Fingering with, well, yeah, they said it was kind of lace, but I think it was fingering.
Yeah.
With mohair, and I love the drape, and it's just so beautiful.
And that makes the difference, but the pattern calls for DK weight with mohair. So it makes it a worsted weight, but it's done it like a DK weight
But that's so pretty, though. I love it.
at a DK weight gauge. Yeah,
It's a beautiful sweater.
it is. It's really great. Nothing like a hot pink sweater. Okay, I'm thirsty. I don't know about you, but
I am too.
Yes.
I can smell that wine
Yeah,
back
it's sitting there
there.
waiting for us.
It smells good. Okay, we'll see you at the tasting table.
So anyway, today's featured wine is Reynolds Cabernet Sauvignon, 2018, from Napa in California.
Have you been there?
And I have been to Reynolds, yes.
Have you been there? I have
And
been
you?
there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lovely family vineyard.
it is.
And they put the mustard seed picture on every one of their labels. And on their really high-end wines, they actually dry the mustard seed and put it on a label, and it's beautiful. So they have some beautiful presentation. And
So-
not to mention their wines are delicious.
So let's see what Vivino has to say about it. So you can. Aha, found it. So Vivino is a free app that you can use to find out what the taste characteristics are.
All right.
So this is different. Oak, vanilla, and allspice are the first ones that it talks about.
Boy, it smells really good.
Okay.
Allspice, that's perfect
Okay.
for this season, right?
Yeah, it is.
I put that in my pumpkin
Oh my gosh, that
pie.
is so
Smells
good.
oaky.
Yeah. So somebody did ask about how we met, and we did meet through wine. I was actually dating somebody who was in the wine business at the time, and that's how I first met Janet. And then he introduced me to Tammi.
Yeah,
And then
that's been years.
It's
years.
been years ago, and we just started drinking wine together, and then we'd start getting together. And then after he and I split up, I had seen Tammi a lot with beautiful knitted objects, and I'm like, I want to learn how to knit. And so then I asked her, I said, can I come over? Will you teach me how to knit? And she says,
yeah.
yeah. And then she goes, see if Janet wants to come. So then Janet came, and so now we're knitting and drinking, continuing the drinking part.
So the first time I met Janet, the first thing I said to her, she had her back to me, and I'm like, and she turns around and I said, do you wake up looking like that with your
That hair?
I'm like, does your hair always look like that? Do you just like wake up with it like that? And she's like, no. And then we got into a lengthy story because I had just, gosh, probably only within a year had discovered that my hair is curly. I mean, I straighten it often. But I was trying to figure out how to do that. And I'm like, oh, okay, so the best way to do that is to ask somebody who's got that kind of hair what they do with it.
Yeah. So we got into hair products and
we got into all kinds of
techniques and all kinds of stuff, yeah.
Okay, so taste characteristics. On the light and bold scale, it's very bold.
Very bold.
It's like as high on the bold end as you can get it. But the good news is it's very in the middle on the smooth and tannic scale.
I love it.
then it's-
Man,
Pretty dry.
Yeah,
it's
it's
on the
more on-
dry side.
Yeah.
but I like that because it really lets all the other flavors jump out at you.
So the other flavors are blackberry, dark fruit, and blueberry. And you can pretty much smell and taste all of those. Also leather and smoke. But you know,
The dark fruit and the berries.
Oh yeah.
Yum. This is delicious. Very smooth.
Yeah, that's some lusciousness.
I don't get the smoke, but I get the leather on the finish.
You do?
Yeah. On the,
It has that oak and allspice in the beginning.
man, that is just, this is heavenly. So if you ever have a chance, Vivino says the bottle runs, oh, wow. Is that the 2018?
No, that can't be.
Let's,
I don't know. The
This is
price
the
point
2018.
is, what did we say, 66 to 80 some dollars.
Yeah.
So it's not the cheapest wine, but
It's a must try if you can find it. Wine
it
ranking,
really
it
is
says
good.
it's in the top 1% in the world and top 3% of the Stag's Leap District. I might actually buy into that. I think this is pretty fabulous.
It is.
yes.
It's very, very
Yeah.
good.
So Janet brought that today.
Delicious.
That's out of her cellar. And it's a gorgeous bottle,
Yes.
right?
The mustard seed on there.
Yeah. Well, so even though Charlie's not part of the whole thing, we have to appreciate him
thank him.
for introducing us way back back when.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I got to
gosh.
keep them.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. We weren't gonna let you go. I mean, we're still friends with Charlie, but
Yeah, that's fine.
we really do love Claudia. So
That's right.
Lucky me.
please continue commenting and, you know, giving us some feedback. Let us know what you'd like to hear about. If you have any questions for us that you'd like us to answer, we're happy to do that. And, you know, we'll let you know if it's too personal, but ask whatever you want to know. And, you know, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. We're up to like 1,600 whoop whoop subscribers, and we are so thrilled. That's like a happy whoop whoop. Yeah, we're thrilled. The number is creeping up gradually, and we're hoping that we can do this every couple of weeks. We'll have to see how the weather goes. You know, if we have to do a Zoom, we'll figure out how we can record that. But yeah, we really are enjoying hanging out with you guys and having you here with us and all the things. So until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching.
That's delicious.